Yo, what's up YouTube? It's No Jitsu here, back with another F1 2021 My Team Career Mode episode. Today we have round 5 for the Canadian Grand Prix. This should be a fun one. Always do go well around here. And yeah, last episode we took our first ever points as a team, which was a P5 in Baku in a crazy race, 4 total safety cars. We're hoping to have another exciting one like that here today. First, we're going to go with the upgrade, which would be saving this chassis upgrade and then maybe buying a couple others. We'll see how much money we have. We are going to buy this 1100 aerodynamics upgrade, and we're going to try to buy this second one here, but we can't in the aero, so we're going to have to go somewhere else. We're going to buy this spark plugs upgrade with the rest of our R&D. Now we're going to buy a facilities upgrade here on the chassis. We're going to improve the build time. Just hope the parts come in quicker in the R&D. But here we go. Q1 qualifying here today. And it is pouring rain in Canada for this weekend. This should make it more interesting for qualifying. But here we go out for our first lap of qualifying in the rain on the inters here in Canada. Gonna try and nail this lap and yeah, get through in the Q2. That's the goal right now. And at some point, I think towards the end of the year, we're going to be looking to get through in the Q3. But for now, it's just Q2. But good start to this lap so far. And we're going to jump ahead to later in the lap now, closer towards the end as we go through the final hairpin at the Canadian circuit. And right now, it's a pretty good lap. We're trying to maybe get split the Ferraris. Leclerc's in second, Sainz is in first at the moment. Of course, that will change, but if we could split them, that'd be in a good spot. Or at least beat out Alonso. We're looking pretty good so far. We're at a 15-minute mark right now. Or, minute 15. But here we go across the line for our first lap, and we are just behind the Ferraris. And now for our second lap in Q2 now. We got there in Q3, or Q1 easy. Now in the Q2, we're up 14 tenths on our first lap. Nailed this one, and that is fastest here in the Q2. Now we have to jump again for a soft tires run here in the Q2. But we're the first ones out, so the track's a little slicker. It wasn't my best decision to go out now and not wait till a little bit later. When the track gets down, I probably could have gotten the Q3. As you'll see, it'll be a good lap, fastest, but as we go to the results, we were knocked out in 15th. So that's where we're starting for the grid. I believe if I would have waited a little bit, I definitely could have been through instead of Gasly or even Sainz. Definitely could have been up there. But here we go. Canada. Grand Prix in Montreal.
The event first moved to a variant of this track back in 1978. It was won by none other than Gilles Villeneuve, the first Canadian to ever win his home race, and in whose honour the circuit would be renamed. It's a tricky circuit to tackle in wet conditions, with top speed still of critical importance down the long back straight. There are 2.7 miles and 14 corners overall on a circuit that in the dry can see average lap speeds of around 130 miles per hour. We'll be lucky to get anywhere near that today. It's not going to be plain sailing for our drivers today, although with the sky falling as it is, perhaps sailing isn't too far from the truth. Anthony Davidson, could be a wet one today. Great to have you with us. What are your thoughts?
It is a touch damp, isn't it? Well, as a driver, there are 3 big things to worry about when racing in these kind of conditions: standing water, tyre temperature and visibility. Judging distance to the cars around you is really tricky when you're driving through the vast amounts of spray that these wet weather Pirelli tyres kick up.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Ricciardo, Lando Norris and Perez, Leclerc, Sainz, Gasly and Lance Stroll, Vettel, Tsunoda, Esteban Ocon and Mick Schumacher, Maverick, Russell, Fernando Alonso and Nicholas Latifi, Raikkonen, Mazepin, Sato and Antonio Giovinazzi starts from the back of the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Here we are in our car, 15th on the grid. Hamilton on pole, Bottas P2, front row lockout for the Mercedes. And it's going to be heavy rain for 4 of those spots. Then it goes to light rain. Then it goes to cloudy and then sunny. So I'm thinking we're going to go wets for the start, go in the inters, and then go in the dries. But here we go. First start, 5 red lights, and we are underway here in Canada. It's a great start off the line. Bad one for Ocon up ahead. Tsunoda gets squirrely up ahead, almost spins out. We're going to send one up the inside of a few cars into the first turn. And we're up in the P12. Now we're going to try to go around the outside as it's 3 wide between the 2 Ferraris and Pierre Gasly. And we're up in the P12 off the start. Jumping Tsunoda and Ocon. Great start for us. And Schumacher we jump. But now we're in P12, chasing after Vettel here on the first lap. Hoping to go good, but Vettel pulling away now. Tsunoda's going to look for a move, but we're going to dive down the inside. Get Vettel. Try to go on the inside of Stroll too. We can't get it, but we are up in the P11 now, past one of the Aston Martins and Sebastian Vettel. Now we're going to go chasing after Stroll for 10th place already, up to 11th on the first lap. But here we're going to check on the start of Max Verstappen, who started in 3rd, but dove down the inside of both Mercedes, wheel-to-wheel here at Lewis Hamilton, and he gets the move done. Max Verstappen overtakes both Mercedes off the start and now leads. But here we are about the RPOV, chasing after Lance Stroll and Carlos Sainz and the other Ferrari of Charles Leclerc. But here, we're going to dive up the inside of the Canadian driver in his home GP, and we will squeeze him out, I think. Yes, we do. Up in the P10, already up in the point spanning positions here early. Now we jump later on the lap 2, where we're in the same spot as hairpin. We made the move last time on Stroll, but this time we go a little wide, get the car turned in well though, and we actually get a good exit out of the corner, chasing after the Spaniard of Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari, and the, I don't know how to say it, someone from Monaco, but Charles Leclerc in the other Ferrari. Here, onto the back of Sainz, gonna try to get through this small gap he leaves us, and it's a great move around the outside of the Spaniard, and we're up in the P9 already in this race. Started P15, now up in the P9. Great drive so far in the rain. Here we are a little bit later. We cannot get the move on Leclerc. We tried it there in lap 5, but we just could not get the move done. But now a little bit later, we're going to try. We think about it 2 times right there. Back-to-back corners. We think about going for a move on Charles Leclerc, and we just couldn't get it done. But if y'all didn't watch the Belgium Grand Prix, it didn't happen. But qualifying was amazing, and my favorite driver, George, got a podium. Just always like talking about the past race in these. But back here again, chasing after Charles Leclerc. And we're going to try to send a weird one up the inside. We do not get that. Of course, not a great move to try there. But here we jump towards the end of the lap, around the hairpin. We run into the grass a little, try to get the good exit out of the corner. And behind us, oh, Carlos Sainz went spinning. He's into the grass, and Carlos Sainz is down the order. Oh no, that is not good for the Spaniard. Stroll up in the 10th in his home GP. But here, chasing after Leclerc.
And you should know that by being a racing driver, you are under risk all the time. And by being a racing driver means you are racing with other people. And if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver.
Down the inside of Leclerc we go. Can we get Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari? What a daring move. He's going to fight back. But will we stay in front? We will. What a daring move down the inside. But we get Leclerc, and we're up in the P8 here on lap 7. Pushing after Pierre Gasly, the Frenchman, in the AlphaTauri. Now running high, like always in that car. He is so good in the AlphaTauri. But what a move that was on Charles Leclerc. Up into P8 now. And as you see, we have a ton of engine issues for this one. So our straight line speed is not what it normally is. But, hey, we're performing pretty well. I just thought Canada's so good I didn't want to take the penalty here. But now we're going to try to get a good run out of the corner on Pierre Gasly. Running a little wide. Try to get the car turned back in well. And try to get a good exit out of the corner. And I think we did. Now catching time here on the straight. On the Frenchman and Pierre Gasly. Can we chase him down? about this 1 a second and 3/10, second and 2/10 back of Pierre Gasly at the moment. If we nail this chicane and we get good ERS on this straight, we could make it really close here coming down to this corner. Will we do it? We're going to attack the Frenchman. Can we get him? Not yet. Still just pushing, trying to stay in front of Leclerc, trying to stay in front of Gasly. I mean, chase up to Gasly and see what we can do. But a little squiggly or squirrely out of that corner, but we keep the car under control and even gain some time there. Back 6/10 now, pressuring Gasly. Ooh, we run to the grass there, losing a little time, definitely. Down to a second, 4/10 now, behind Pierre Gasly. But we're going to go trying to look for a move here soon. We'll see what happens. Chasing after Pierre. Now here we are a little bit later on onto lap 9. Closing into Pierre. 6/10 back now. We are, if we get a run down this corner, we could pass the Frenchman down this next corner. But up ahead, yellow flags as Lando Norris goes into the corner. And oh! He put up the throttle too early and went spinning. Lando Norris makes a huge mistake. McLaren were doing well in this one, and now are losing Lando probably out of this race. As will they bring out the safety car? Lando made a big mistake there. Pushed the throttle too early and went spinning, and there it is. The safety car is out. Wow. That probably means something happened to Lando. What was it? Lando was disqualified. He couldn't get the car moving in time before they had to disqualify him. But here we go. On to lap 11. Safety car coming in this lap. And they're telling everyone to change on to inters. Or the safety car is not coming in this lap, but next lap. But they're telling everyone to come in the inters here. So I'm expecting a lot of people just to leave the safety car driving on its own and go into the pit lane here. And yes, I am right. Into the pits we go. Can we get a good stop and maybe jump some people in the pit lane? It gets all mixed up in here with all the people having to wait out and stuff when all these people are in the pits. But let's see what happens. Good stop. We need a good stop. Quick tire change. And we have jumped. We were in 7th or 8th. Now we are behind the race leader in Max Verstappen in P6 at the moment. Once the 4 in front pit, we'll be in 2nd place in this Grand Prix. Wow, what a pit stop from the team. Great job. And now we're in a good spot just to hold on to this and try to win as Lance Stroll, there he is in what will be 3rd place in here as they come in, as the safety car ends. Yes, they all come into the pits, and we are in P2. And the home driver, Lance Stroll, is in P3 in this race. A shocking podium right now with Max Verstappen. That's normal in the lead, but us in P2, we're going for our first ever podium in F1 here. But there's a lot of racing left, but we can hope here with 22 laps remaining. We're going to jump to lap 18 where we have picked up a 5-second gap to Lance Stroll behind but have fell back to 3 seconds behind Max Verstappen. So we're flying, but Max is flying even more. Stroll's still holding onto that podium, but it has been smooth sailing for the last 5 laps. I mean, not much to show at all, just us driving on our own, doing our own thing, really. But now it's time to switch to the dry tires, and that's what we're going in to do right now. On the mediums we go, now to lap 19 out of the pits with the medium tires. We're going to see what we can do on these tires. Here we're going to jump to lap 20 now. A good start to the lap. Purple first sector, green second sector. We have pulled out even bigger lead on Stroll, Leclerc, and Bottas behind. Stroll seems to be holding them up now, which means I could see him losing his podium pretty soon. But can we get the fastest lap? Can we get the fastest lap of the Grand Prix here? I don't think it will stay, because once the track dries out more, better people will get the lap. But Max takes a 16.8. What will we get here? A 16.4. And at the moment, That's the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. But here we are, 8 laps later, and Leclerc has passed Stroll, but we still are in a comfortable spot, and we were just driving on our own, lap after lap after lap. Here we are, 6 laps to go, 8 laps later. Verstappen's developed an even bigger lead, and we've lost a little bit of time, but because of our engine issue and our tire wear. But yeah, it's been an easy drive so far in this second stint on the medium tires. But there, the AlphaTauri of Yuki Tsunoda is out of the Grand Prix here on lap 30. Here we're going to jump to lap 33, where we've lost even more time. The engine issue starting to get bigger and bigger. The tire wear really affecting us, and it's starting to show now on the dry compounded tires that our car is just not as good in these spots. We make a mistake, go a little wide in the corner, and tap the wall. Probably got us a little bit of damage on the car, which means Leclerc and Bottas are going to fly. They were already flying after us because of the better cars and the no engine issue. Now they're definitely going to, and this could get interesting. Lap 33 or 35, so our podium is not even safe yet. But I think we have the ability to hold this through. 2 laps remaining, about a 1.5-second gap to Charles Leclerc behind. Our fastest lap is now up to a 1:12.8, but that is nowhere near Lewis Hamilton, who is the fastest lap right now, down in P8, I believe, or P9. The pit stops really messed him up. He really messed both of him and Bottas up. They were sitting 2-3, that big pit stop thing. Now they are sitting 4 and 9 in this Grand Prix. Big loss to them, big help for Red Bull, who I believe both their Perez is ahead of Lewis and Verstappen is ahead of Bottas. But now second is the gap. Charles Leclerc is flying, Valtteri Bottas is flying, and we're going to have to do a lot to hold on to this second place in our first podium in team history. This is coming earlier than I thought, but after a great drive in Baku and another great start here, and then we just passed people, got ourselves up into a great position in P8 to where the pit stops helped us. But now, on to lap 34, on to lap 35, Leclerc's going to go for the move. We're going to go back down the inside, squeeze him a little bit. We're still wheel to wheel, make some contact, tapping wheels with Charles Leclerc, but we hold on to the P2 position. Verstappen's improved his lead to 16 seconds now. What a dominant performance from the Dutchman. But this is the important battle now, as Leclerc's now dropping back. Bottas going to look for a move up the inside of that corner back there. They're still wheel to wheel, but Valtteri Bottas gets in front of Charles Leclerc. And that battle, I think, has bought us just enough time to do it. I think we will do it. About a 1.5 the gap. And we may have just done what we have been trying to do for so long. What I thought we were close to in Baku, we just didn't have the pace for. And we finally, what didn't qualify amazing, but what a start. Great overtakes throughout that first stint. Got the jump in the pit lane. And here we are, onto the last chicane before the final straight. Here we go. 8/6, and that should do it. We take the checkered flag for our first ever podium in F1 in No Jitsu Racing's first ever podium as a team P2 driver today. What a drive. Max wins the race. Let's go.
They take the checkered flag then here in Canada in what has been another fabulous Grand Prix. So Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
Well, they played the safety car to absolute perfection. There are so many factors to worry about once the race is neutralised. I mean, do you pit for fresh rubber? Do you have the space behind you? How much fuel can you save? If you answer all of those questions correctly, you'll have a good chance. And that's exactly what happened today.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently. It's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be proud of the victory they secured here.
So there we have it. Max Verstappen takes the Canadian Grand Prix, and you love to see the little handshake, them liking it on the podium, and Bottas just over there on his own. But yeah, hey, maybe Max is a future driver of us down the line. But there you have it. Your final race results are Max Verstappen P1, us in P2, Valtteri P3, Charles Leclerc P4, Stroll the home driver P5, Gasly, Ricciardo, Perez, Hamilton, and Ocon. Schumacher just missed out on his first career points. Sato down in P17, but not a horrible drive for the Japanese man. There's your current driver standings. Valtteri still leads, but Max has closed the gap to 2 points separated. That is going to be a fun battle. We're up in the P8, ahead of Lando Norris, and ahead of some good drivers in Carlos Sainz, Lance Stroll. I'll take it. I'll definitely take it. What a result. We're up in the P7 in the Constructors, ahead of Alpine. I think it's a good spot to aim at, but I mean, hey, we're looking up. I'm looking at that AlphaTauri spot, at least Aston Martin maybe by the end of the year. But what a performance. P2, Max Verstappen wins, but our first podium as a team. We are on fire right now up in the P8 and P7. But thank you all for watching the video. Drop a like if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new. And I'll see all you guys in the next one. Have a good night, guys. Peace out.